horses, no feet, no horse. And boy, is that true. If you have a horse that has bad feet or an injured foot, they're not going to be able to do the job you want them to do. We found that out here with Freckles, JR's head horse. We got him when he was 10. That was 7 years ago. And he's a grandson of Colonel Freckles. But what he started doing here last year, he wouldn't run to the steers real good and started acting up a little bit in the heading box. So when we got back to Oklahoma earlier this year, we took him to our vet in Salisaw, and Doc White, he x-rayed him, checked him all over, and he said he couldn't find anything wrong with him. His everything looked good on him, no arthritis and no injuries that he could tell. But he did say that one thing he found was he wasn't shod right. And he put us in touch with a farrier that said was about the best he had ever seen. And that guy came out, he shod our horses one time, and after that first time we could tell a difference in Freckles. He started moving better, he was freer, he wasn't choppy. And so this year he was able to shoe him 2 more times before we came back out to Arizona. And we got him out here last week and ran some steers on him, and it was just like his old self. So, you know, that just goes to show you how important it is to have him shod right. They had him at an angle that was putting stress on his knees and on the bones in his feet. So the guy back home that shot him, he gave us the name of a farrier out here and recommended him to be good. So we're hoping that he will stay just like he is right now and do the same kind of job that the guy out in Oklahoma did for us. He'll be here next week and shoe him. But I was reading in Ephesians 6, where Paul was writing to the believers of the church there that we needed to put on the full armor of God. And Paul talked about covering yourself from head to foot. He said, put on the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the belt of truth, the sword of the Spirit, and the shield of faith. And then he got to the feet, and he used the terminology about being shod. And a lot of the other translations don't use that word. They use fitted or strapped on. And but this New King James Version, which is one of the older versions, it says it like this: having shod your feet with the righteousness of the gospel of peace. Now, the gospel of peace is Jesus. And, you know, we've got to be prepared when we go out every day. And it doesn't matter if we're going to share the word of Jesus with someone or if we're fighting the devil. We've got to be prepared. We've got to have those right shoes on us. And I looked up, it made me wonder about how the Romans back in Paul's day, why they shod their horses and how they shod them. And what I found was that there were 2 kind of shoes that they used. One was made out of rope, and it was twisted around. It covered the whole sole of the foot, the horse's hoof. It wasn't like our horseshoes that we have today. And the second shoe was made out of leather, and again, it covered the whole foot of the horse. Well, why did they put those shoes on horses back in Roman days? Well, they put them on for 2 reasons. One was when they took horses out in the field to plow and work the crops, and it gave them traction on loose ground. And the second time was when they took horses to battle. They put those kind of shoes on their horses' feet because a lot of times they said the enemies would throw sharp objects out in front of the horses to cripple them up, make them lame where they couldn't use them anymore. And so they put those protective shoes on them. And I find that to be something that we could compare to us as believers today. You know, Paul said that believers, we need to put on that full armor. And if we put on those shoes, we need them for when we go out to share the word of Jesus. But also, you know, it says his gospel was the gospel of peace. Jesus brought peace, but he also was ready for battle. We know that Jesus faced a lot of battles in his ministry. First, he battled with the devil in the wilderness. And then he had battles with the money changers. And third thing he battled was the cross. And in each of those instances, he used the Word of God. So it just shows us that we need to be well versed in the Bible and know what it says and why we believe the way we do. And we'll be better able to share God, to share Jesus with others, and we'll be able to fight those battles that the devil brings our way, because you know for sure that he's throwing things out in front of us to trip us up and take us down every day. So we need to be ready for all those things, and the way we do that is reading the Word. And I would, a lot of people don't carry Bibles with them, but you carry a phone, and you can go to BibleGateway.com, and it will give you Bible verses you can look up. It'll give you reading plans every day. 5 minutes a day is all you need, and just make yourself prepared. That's what Paul said we needed to do, to be prepared. So make sure you've got the right shoes on, and we'll talk to you later, and you guys have a blessed week, and share Jesus with